Welcome to the Daily Jing for Wednesday, November 9th. Here's the quote of the day. A tape measure is like a gun at a construction site. Like a police officer, you don't want to pull it out unless you're going to use it. Edwin Gonzalez, after hearing that a tape measure fell from a high-rise building under construction in Jersey City, hitting a man in the head and killing him. Yeah. So let's look at the schedule. This is the Wednesday of the 11th week. We're doing the door discussion. We're starting the View and Do 4.1 and 4.2. Okay. Take a look at this, the brain pickings video. Let's go back to the notes. So here's some notes on the familiar essay too. There is not so subtle difference between the first familiar essay and the second. In the first, you looked inward, and in the second, you are to look at a person, place, or thing that has influenced or meant something to you. The writer is always present in these two essays. In the first, he or she is writing about self, and in the second, that self is in the world and is reflected in the subject under examination. Say you wanted to write about yourself as a worker at the moment. You work at the Gap. In the first familiar essay, you would use the job at the Gap as a stepping off place to explore your experience as a worker throughout your life. Work as a condition, work as something you do, work as something that makes you who you are. You would write about work as it constructs self. You would write about how you work across a wide spectrum of jobs and activities. You would ask, who am I when I work? In the second familiar essay, if you wanted to write about work, you would concentrate on the place where you work, the Gap. In this essay, you would show us how your character interacts with all the other individuals that make up the Gap store experience. In this essay, you pull back from your experience as a Gap cashier and see the store ecosystem as a laboratory, a social scene, a bazaar. And in this way, you can bring in sources that talk about shopping, the modern mall, the clerk-customer relationship, the boss, etc. When you write this second paper, you might, by indirection, deal with many of the same issues you dealt with in your first work paper, Work as Identity. But in this paper, you see these things outside yourself, reflected in the place, the Gap, you are writing about. See what I mean? Okay. The question of the day, what two View and Do's are we starting this week? 4.1 and 4.2. And we're starting the discussion on doer, D-O-E-R-R. Okay? All right, thanks. Bye.